figure out what I'm saying while he's recording it. Dismiss. Goodbye. Goodbye. Dismiss.
I'm glad these resolutions are shorter than the others.
What?
I'm glad these resolutions are shorter than the others.
You mean, what, you don't want to read one of my 5-page resolutions?
Oh, please don't.
I've had a few of those.
I know, I was there. That was
Because I don't like
crazy.
to have, I don't like to do my bills halfway.
True.
They are 5 pages long and well researched.
Sure, they should be. As they should be.
Waiting for Trinity.
I love that for you.
Fantastic.
I love it for all of us.
Oh, it's double-sided. Okay. There's so many people here who I've never seen in my life.
Good.
Love that. That's good. Yeah,
Good.
it's good. I got it. I'm dying. It's fine.
Did you update the numbers on this? Okay.
You want to make an announcement about name tags, Molly?
Okay, real quick, if you have a name tag and you haven't gotten it, they are there on the front table. So go and grab your name tag if you haven't got it.
To try to find my notes. From this one. Where's this? Not. And not in that. Actually, in my.
Here I do.
I will be. Yeah.
I call this meeting to order. Are there any students to speak out this evening? All right, seeing none, we will now proceed to announcements. Does the body have any announcements this evening? No? Okay. Seeing none, we'll now proceed to our presentation tonight. So tonight, I would love to introduce our student trustee, Mia Centino, to come down and give us a presentation.
Today, I'm going to be providing an update on our August Board of Trustees meeting. This took place on the 18th and 19th, which was the Thursday and Friday prior to classes starting. So we'll just jump right into it. Oh, switch on here, not on there. Yeah, so again, my name's Mia. I'm a junior. I'm an environmental studies major. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I'm the junior student trustee. My senior student trustee, Sarah, is not able to be with us tonight. She is traveling abroad this semester, so today is just kind of the Mia show. But she's still very attentive, will be able to respond to emails, all that sort of thing. So if you want to email her and reach out, do not hesitate to. Tonight, I'm going to be presenting the slides for her committee. So if y'all have questions about those slides, I'll do my best to answer them, but if I don't have the answer for them, I'm going to direct you to someone else. So. Okay, perfect. So what is the Board of Trustees? Y'all probably have a general idea of what the board is. The Ohio University Board of Trustees is the governing body of Ohio University. Pretty simple. We have shared governance, which means that we seek input from staff, students, and faculty. So if y'all ever have anything that you're like, I want to make sure that the Board of Trustees knows about that, you're going to want to contact me and I'll be that listening ear for you. We're made up of 14 members, so 2 student trustees, like I said before. We hold meetings 5 times, and our next meeting is October 20th to 21st, and I'll be in to present about that shortly after. I did include the link to the trustee website on there. Oh, sorry, it turned out kind of weird. But you can just Google Ohio University Board of Trustees. Lots of good information on there. All of our agendas are available on there. Also, any news will be made public on there, and you can go through and see a profile of every single member of the team. So definitely, if you're interested in it, poke around a bit. So my role is to act as the liaison between the student body and the board. So I'm on the Board of Trustees to provide the student voice, and I'm also here to act as the liaison and tell you what the board decided, and to discuss that with you. So student trustees connect with students from all different student organizations, colleges, and professional programs to best represent all students. If you all, again, ever have anything, you're like, I want to learn more about this, or I have something that I want you to know, reach out. I put my phone number on that other side. You can call that. You can text me. You can send me an email, any of those things. Sarah's email is also on there as well. You can email her. We do communicate, obviously, so if you have a question for her, I can get it to her, all that sort of thing. But yeah, definitely feel free to reach out. I'd love to get coffee with you all, talk about things, etc. So our August meeting was held in Dublin, Ohio, which is actually where I'm from, so very convenient for me. It was at the Dublin Extension campus, where the College of Health Sciences and Professions has multiple programs that I'll get into later. Our meeting was on Thursday, and we had sort of a mini retreat on Friday. We have a few new members who were appointed, me being one of them. So that was just kind of the start of our orientation. We will have another full orientation on the Wednesday before the October meeting. So that will just be to catch up all the new trustees about what the school's working on, that sort of thing. So yeah, trustee orientation on the 19th. Our meeting included the newly appointed trustee, Cynthia Calhoun. Her term began on June 17th. And she fills Janelle Coleman's voting position, but Janelle Coleman is still on the board. She is now a national trustee. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. Again, these are Sarah's slides, so I'm going to read through her notes and also add in my own things. If any of you have questions, I was going to wait to hold questions till after, but if you have them after specific committee, just feel free to kind of shout them out. It's a smaller group, so anything works. So she's on audit and risk management. What that does is ensure university compliance with state and federal regulations and managing risk factors. This is a pretty simple. There we go. This is going to be really funny if I literally forget every single slide. Okay, so yeah, again, these belong to Sarah. 3 active projects right now. One of them is Clippinger Hall. The other is HCOM, which is Ohio University's Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine, specifically the Heritage Hall. The third is Rusk College of Engineering and Technologies Research Building. So these are all 3 buildings that are working on getting audits. An audit is really just an assessment of the building to say, okay, this is really doing well, being used for its purpose. So we're just performing all of those to see if they need improvements. Obviously, improving buildings is fantastic for students. I'm sure you have buildings that you know, like this one's really great and this one's not as great. That's kind of what we're working through right now. We want the buildings to be fantastic. We're also working on developing the Ohio Compliance Network. Let me flip my page here. Here are just a few different things that we're working on. Just some key developments, again, to make improvements on things that we've been doing in the past. You can just read those off real briefly. I won't get into those too specifically. Perfect. Okay, and this is my committee, Academics and Student Success. What we do is include enrollment management, student affairs and life, providing oversight of educational quality and engagement and student success. Really, the name's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of things encompassed in that. So this is what was on our agenda for that particular meeting. I'll have a slide about each of these things, but just so you see a more broad overview, I wanted to put that up there. It helps me to have things kind of like, this is what we're going to talk about, and then to get into it. I don't know, it just works a lot better in my brain. So again, we were at the Dublin campus, so we got to hear a bit of a run through of the different programs that they offer there. I just listed them, the 4 programs that they do. The physician assistant practice, the OU School of Nursing has a few different programs there. Athletic training residency, combined Master of Science in dietetics, all those type of things. Okay, yes, right side. And then also I just listed those future opportunities that they're looking towards in that Dublin camp, on that Dublin campus. So they're just things that we're working towards, just so we're kind of aware of what's going on over there. A big focus of this Dublin campus is community partnerships, which is really exciting. Obviously, as a university, we want to be investing in the community around us, whether that's Athens, whether that's Columbus, where Dublin's located, all those sort of things. And I'll talk about a few more of those things that we're doing in a moment here. We also were spoken to by the Voinovich School of Leadership and Public Service, specifically about the Voinovich Academy. So I put their mission statement on there. Just at that academy, they want to build leadership capacity for Ohio's public sector in Central and Appalachian Ohio. This is another big one where we're trying to do a lot to give back to the area around us. Obviously, as college students who I assume all of you live in Athens, you want to be giving back to that community that you're spending 4 years, more than 4 years, less than 4 years, whatever that time is here. So yeah, they focus on those 3 main things: service to state and region, new partnerships, and leadership programs. The academy specifically focuses on the things that I read on the screen again: the crisis management, mental health, law enforcement, and community health. One of the programs within the Voinovich Academy that we discussed was the Appalachian Law Enforcement Initiative. So this was developed into 2 virtual reality training modules for law enforcement professionals. These were worked on both by law enforcement in the region and also by the Grid Lab at Scripps. It's an opportunity for Southeast Ohio to lead the country in community police interaction. A huge focus on those trainings is on de-escalation. They're able to really work through them through that VR headset. So we heard a little bit about that. Again, like I said before, just another way that Voinovich School is trying to give back to the region. Enrollment planning update. Y'all might have noticed there are quite a few freshmen hanging around here. We have super duper high enrollment, which is exciting, of course. The fall census date for the final enrollment count was Monday. I personally haven't seen the numbers yet. I think they're still working through them. I could be wrong on that. If I am, correct me. But yeah, they're looking hot. They're looking up there. We also talked about enrollment trends just generally to make sure that our enrollment remains consistent. One of those trends we looked at was declining high school graduates, which will just kind of set the stage for what we're going to need to do in the future. So high school graduates, it's not that high schoolers aren't graduating high school, it's just that they're less people, you know, less younger people, just how the demographics work out. And we also talked about percentage of Ohioans who choose to stay in Ohio for college, which is around 76% we decided. We didn't decide. That was a number. That was a weird thing to say. We didn't decide that. Yes, okay. And we talked about as well, just our interest for freshman year is looking really high, which is awesome as well. We've been doing a lot of different things to try and work on that. I'm going to try to build freshman enrollment, and I'll show you a couple more of those things in the next slide. But just to kind of combat those numbers of declining high school graduates, we talked about a variety of degree programs that are to combat any potential future enrollment declines. So we're going to talk about those as well. Of course, I keep alluding to things that are coming up. So yeah, here's just a screenshot from our PowerPoint that we presented. A few different initiatives that they're doing to maintain enrollment, to increase enrollment, all those sort of good things. I'm a tour guide personally. I know that we've been doing a lot of work on optimizing our tour guide experience and making sure that students know all the options that are there for them. Making sure that they know all the options that are there for them. Bear with me here. We also want to do a focus on diversity, and that includes going to schools, Columbus area, other areas, just that we know we don't normally get a lot of enrollment from. So better trying to reach counselors, all that sort of thing. So here are just a few of the initiatives on the screen. We also discussed the Guild Partnership, which is helping us maintain consistent enrollment as well. Working adults are the key target here, and targets on the screen, how sassy. But yeah, so here are a few of our employer partners. So this essentially means that working adults can work while obtaining their degrees. And just some of these, obviously, as I've said for the 4th time, here's some of the employers that do it. Our fall semester launched July 12th. We have a few different majors offered through that. One of them that's just sticks out to me a lot is Bachelor of Science in Business is one that we're working towards. So that's what that is. Okay, super fun part, program accreditation updates. Accreditation is important for students because it means that you're going to have a good degree that people are going to be like, oh, okay, they went to Ohio University, that's an accredited degree. Just gives you makes your degree a little bit heavier, pull a little bit more weight. I'll just put a little bit of a summary. Accreditation is voluntary, assesses the quality of academic programs at higher education institutions, establishes a culture of growth and improvement, and shows the public and students that the institution and its programs are high quality. So here's just a cutesy little screenshot of the different programs. You might see your major in there, who knows. But yeah, moving on. Institutional, this is just a brief summary of the prep work that OU is doing for our next reaffirmation of accreditation as a university. This will be something I'll probably talk about more as we get closer to it. But here's just a few things that we're working towards, just so we're ready for that. Consent resolution. This is actually going to be very important to you all. Not that everything is, but especially important is what I'm trying to say. OU Textbook Affordability and Auto Adoption Resolution 2022. So this complies with the Federal Higher Education Opportunity Act of 2008, and it affirms a policy that was already passed by Faculty Senate. So this essentially means that when you're registering for classes, it's going to tell you what textbooks you need and how much they cost. So that's just a really brief overview of it. It's just to improve affordability in higher education. I think this is exciting. I know personally when I'm budgeting for semesters, I think this would be really big for me. So here's the actual consent resolution. Oh, good, it showed up well. I know I like to go through and read all the words specifically. So if anyone likes to do that as well, there it is. Hopefully, I think you all get the slides after this. But if not, I can email them to you. Just grab my email after. Okay, moving on. This is another one of Sarah's committees that she's on. This is resources and facilities. So it's just university projects and how to pay for them essentially. These were a few of the different approvals that were requested by us. The first is a Bromley Hall building heating system, pretty self-explanatory, building heat. The second one was OU Zanesville campus HVAC and energy efficiency improvements, phase 1. This is one we're doing and that we're waiting for a little bit more information on and just learning about more as we think about the numbers and things of that nature. Another one is Peden Tower fire system replacement, and then another fire system replacement. Those are obviously pretty essential. So that's good. We also had our annual sustainability presentation, which was quite exciting for me as an environmental studies major. Here are a few of our partnerships. Obviously, there are a lot. One that I particularly wanted to point out is that we'll be participating in Energy Star's higher education benchmarking initiative. Just means that we'll be comparing our water and energy usage to that of other institutions. So that's really great to see where we excel and also where we're lacking so that we can kind of build better sustainability initiatives. This is also a really cool one, just as you know, green is just becoming a really big thing now. So it'd be really great. It's really great for OU to have all these collaborations and show that they are prioritizing environmental causes as well. And this is the final committee. This is mine as well. So governance and compensation. A lot of things also involved in that one. Oversees general governance, policies and procedures, makes recommendations to the board regarding human resources, executive compensation, performance management, and includes oversight of affiliated entities. I just have one thing to present for this one, which is the campus free speech policy. Ohio University and the board is required to stay consistent with state law and Ohio public policy. So this is one that passed on July 21st, 2022, and it was adopted by the board. So this essentially is the policy, I'll just read this part off, affirming certain principles of campus free speech so that OU stays consistent with state law and Ohio public policy. So this specifically, what we passed delegates a certain responsibility to the president and his delegates to incorporate these principles into university policy. So to kind of give a more broad overview of that, not a more broad one, just to kind of summarize it a bit, it will specifically create a process so that any student group, or faculty member can submit a complaint about an alleged violation of their free speech principles or the violation of any university policy or state law concerning free speech by a university employee. So an example that would apply to us as students, although there are many, I'll do a specific one. It's essentially like kind of a place where you can submit things that have happened that you feel violate your free speech. So one of those things could be, for example, if you write an essay in a class and you're taking a really strong stance on it, and your professor takes a different stance and grades you poorly based on your perspectives and not based on like the quality of your writing, something of that nature. That would be something that you could submit, and there would be an investigation process and a hearing as a result of that. So yeah, I put the link to the specific code right there too, if you want to take a look at the specifics. I also put the consent resolution, the screenshot of that there, so you can look at, again, the specific things. But it really says to look back at the policy, so that's why I linked it on that side. But yeah, so that's all I have for you. I can do questions now also. If you think of them later, don't stress out trying to, like, you think you're gonna forget anything. Send me an email, shoot me a text, call me. If you call, please leave a voice message. I'm really bad at picking it up. Just during class and things. But yeah, feel free to reach out anytime, honestly.
So can you go back to the compliance slide that you had and maybe explain that a little bit more in depth if possible?
That is something, I'm not on that committee, so I was not in that meeting. So I'll direct you to someone else for that, but I'll grab your email. That's what that works.
Thank you so much for being here first. Also, with the Free Speech Act, do you know if students have the opportunity to remain anonymous during that process? Because I know there's a hearing, but I don't know if that's an option for them.
I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. So I'm going to get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Decision process, we talk during that part of the students, or if it's something they, this is what schools are updating their value labs, their classes learn. What kind of research was that?
That again, unfortunately, is not within my committee, just because I'm just getting started. I don't have a ton of information about that, but I'll grab your email after and connect you to someone who does. Yeah, sorry, bear with me. I'm still learning.
No, you're good.
Either
ahead.
of you.
You're good.
Okay. First of all, please get some water. You've done so much talking. Thank you for.
Super bad.
My question is in referral to the consent resolution with the textbooks. And I know that's something that OU has been doing for a while now. In some of the classes, you can see on like, when you go to register, it has it listed. And now we have this new policy. So I'm wondering how this new policy maybe differs from what we were utilizing previously.
Now it's more of an emphasis on the accuracy of it. I think before it was more of a prediction. I do need to definitely get more information about that for you. I think this just really solidified it, that they have to be done by the time you register for classes. But I will get back to you on that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to go off of that, would students see that in their student center when they like their shopping cart? Is that where they would see it?
Yeah, according to the draft of it, you would get an email in the textbooks all about release.
Okay,
But I believe it should be in your course offering section.
thank you.
In addition to that, does that also include other course materials other than a textbook? Just because I know there are some courses that don't tell you, and I'm currently taking one, but they don't tell you like upfront that you have to pay for an additional like experiment. It's a service, but it's an
Yeah.
additional service. I don't know if things like that would also be included in this.
I believe it should be all costs associated with the course.
Is that, so, just thinking my way around.
Yeah.
Question. So going off of that as well, there's a program that offers discounted textbooks that is also through the university. Is there anything being done to look at, since this is being listed through the university, to get more textbooks included into that discounted price?
Not that's associated with what the consent. The consent. This, they essentially were releasing them early with the goal that students could both know how much they're going to pay for them and also be able to take a look on their own at discounted sellers so that you'll have more time to prepare for that. Yeah.
Building on that as well, I know you said that it would be shown like alongside the pricing of the actual classes. That won't automatically be added to the cart, right? It's just to show that how much it's actually.
Do you mean the textbooks being added to the cart?
Yeah.
Sorry, oh, no, yeah, they won't be. It's just to show you what they would be, because since the university doesn't provide the textbooks through the service. Oh, sorry, yeah.
I have a question about the sustainability initiative.
Mhm.
Are you, if you've been working with like the office sustainability or any other environmental organization on campus?
Yeah, they do a lot of work. These sustainability initiatives, if you know Elaine Goetz, who works in the Office of Sustainability, she's the one who did the presentation. Yeah,
Last year, I sat through a presentation similar to this, where it had to do with the bridges, what the university was going to do with the bridges. I just was wondering if that was. We're talking about what they're gonna do, whether or not they're gonna sell part of it for private owners. I just didn't know if that was completely.
yeah, that probably would have been the Board of Trustees. I don't have any information about that currently, but I believe that is something that the board would handle.
And it seemed like a really big initiative, and then it's like.
Yeah. I don't know. I can look into that and see if I can get more information about that for you. Like, I'll have to grab all of your emails after this, so don't run away. Yeah.
I was just wondering for the auditing process, I can't remember if that was your committee or not. But I noticed the 2 out of 3 of the buildings that you mentioned are already in use, but then the academic and research, like research building isn't being used yet. So what does that audit consist of?
Again, not one of my committees, so I don't want to commit to something and be incorrect, give you false information. So I'll look into that for you. I'll connect you with Sarah.
Is that it? Yes. Well, thank you so much again, Mia.
Yeah.
Will the chief of staff please call roll?
President Shoulders,
Present.
Vice President Cooley,
Present.
Treasurer Robinson,
President.
Senator Diggins, Senator Data, Senator Phelps, Senator McCarty, Senator Thomas, Commissioner Hibbs,
Present.
Commissioner Gillette, Commissioner Peters, here, Commissioner Avila, present, Commissioner Zarba, Commissioner Lewis,
Present.
Senator Delay, Senator Tandon, Senator Keipel,
Present.
Commissioner Handle, here, Senator Mozart, Clerk of Court Silent, present. We have 4.
Thank you. Okay, moving forward, are there any additions to the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move forward. All right. Approval of the previous meeting minutes. Is there any discussion on the previous meeting minutes? Any discussion? Seeing none, minutes are approved. All right, on to old business. We have none. So moving on. All right, first up, we have Senate Resolution 2020. It's supposed to say 2020. I think it says Okay, 22-23-04. A resolution to appoint a vice commissioner of financial affairs to the Senate Appropriations Commission. Whereas there is a student senate at Ohio University, and whereas the rules and procedures states that there shall be a vice commissioner of financial affairs within the Senate Appropriations Committee, and whereas there is currently a vacancy in this vice commissioner of financial affairs position, and whereas applications were solicited and interviews were conducted, be it resolved that Phoenix Curry Garcia be appointed as Vice Commissioner of Financial Affairs for the 2022-2023 academic year. And be it further resolved, this appointment be effective immediately following the adjournment of this meeting. Primary sponsor, Ms. Trinity Robinson.
I had the opportunity to interview Phoenix along with other executives as well, but prior to the interview, I knew that Phoenix didn't have as much information on SAC, but she was very diligent in her overall research before her interview and very passionate. Outside of Senate, she's also also in the Ohio University Fixed Income Management Group, which I know she has learned a lot of skills from there, and I'm very confident in her ability to perform on SAC as VP of Financial Affairs. And I'm just overall excited. But yes, I reserve the balance of my time.
Secondary sponsor, Ms. Molly Pennington.
I echo everything that Treasurer Robinson had said. I also had the opportunity to sit in on Phoenix's interview. And I was very impressed with the research that she had done into SAC ahead of her interview. She definitely, while she didn't have a lot of experience, she definitely knew her stuff. So I'm very excited to see what she can do in this position. And I reserve the balance of my time.
Is there any discussion on this resolution? Do I hear a motion? It has been moved and seconded to vote on resolution 223-04. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Abstentions? No abstentions. Resolution passes. Next, we have Senate Resolution. Sorry. Next, we have Senate Resolution 2223-05, a resolution to appoint a vice commissioner of Residence Life to the Residence Life Commission. Whereas this is a student senate at Ohio University, and whereas the rules and procedures states that there shall be a vice commissioner of Residence Life within the student senate, and whereas there is currently a vacancy in the vice commissioner of Residence Life position, and whereas applications were solicited and interviews conducted, be it resolved that Brady Wood be appointed as Residence Life Commissioner for the 2022-2023 academic year, and be it further resolved that this appointment be effective immediately. Sponsors, primary sponsor, Ms. Laurel Sabar. Yes, Zarbar, sorry.
That's a lot of interest as well as great ideas about the vice commissioner position. I know that be a big help and then be able to provide the insight about what freshmen want within residence life. I'm very excited about that.
Thank you. Secondary sponsor, Ms. Lavina Cooley.
Yes, I had the pleasure to be part of Brady's interview, along with other members of the exec team and Commissioner Zarbo. And I was rather impressed with Brady, even though he's only been here for 3 weeks, I think 2 weeks at the time of his interview. He was already starting to identify some issues that freshmen were experiencing in the residence halls, especially this year. We know that that is a significant concern, and there are a significant amount of freshmen, and I think Brady will be able to be a valuable voice in the Residence Life Commission, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this resolution? Do I hear a motion? It has been moved and seconded to vote on resolution 2223-05. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Resolution passes. Okay. Moving along to commission reports.
I've been working on planning out time for Pride Week, as well as reaching out to the institute and director. And I'm also currently working on putting together a survey to do interest in certain events, as well as get ideas for Pride Week, and to also see if there's any comments from the students.
Thank you.
Not much is going on inside mine, but I'm working on establishing responsibilities within, the commission with the senators at large. I will be meeting with the director of culinary next week, which I believe the 12th through 17th, to discuss, raising minimum wages, within the culinary as well as other, alternatives to increase, incentives, within culinary. And, I'm also, in communication and setting up a meeting next week with, me and Brandon, discussing drug policies, to, preventative and educational measures, specifically with Narcan and, looking into, further preventions for overdoses and any type of non-consensual, drug interactions, especially when it comes to party drugs and bars. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you.
As of this week, I'm working on the structure of my first programs, including cultural family dinners among student organizations that are specifically culture oriented. These dinners are aimed at creating a community among the minorities on campus and also creating a space where these organizations can network and build up their own community or their organization themselves. I plan on trying to obtain the 3rd or 2nd floor of Baker University Center and have that open up. Like last year, they had arts and crafts nights on the 3rd floor of Baker, I believe. And I think that's a perfect space for holding these events. I have picked out several organizations that I could find on Bobcat Connect that would be perfect for this sort of program. And then I also organized them, reaching out, organized based on national celebrations and months like Pacific Islander Heritage Month, which would be in April, well, May, but I would hold that in April, so it's gonna reach out to them. For that time, I also still need to work out some logistics with funding Trinity and also just basic structure of the program, since this is something I came up with last week. So you will be hearing from me soon. I was given an email by Kathleen last week in regards to the Narcan training and workshops. So I was planning on emailing the Athens City County Health Department and outreach programs officer sort of thing there, but I will talk with Clay about that later or send an email sometime this week when we have time. Like I said, there's still some logistical planning for these programs, as well as intercommunication between, intercommission communications to see if anyone would like to collaborate or if I would like to collaborate on any of these other projects. That is the end of my report.
Thank you. Behind you.
So the
Yeah.
international student commissions, our main focus again is on being able to have international snacks available to international students. I've been walking around campus trying to see what a good area for vending machines that I kind of like settled on like vending machines would be the easiest way to get this going. So I've been creating a list, an email list of the different international student organizations. So that I can reach out to them and ask them what specific snacks they want from their countries. So that I can get a budget together and then add in the vending machine to that budget and it's going. And I'm hoping to send out that email by next week. That's in my report.
Thank you.
I've begun dialogue with a couple of different student members around campus. met them through Lane Getz, and we're already starting to find a time where we can meet and talk about an environmentally focused farmers market. I'm also proud to announce that the Sustainability Network is up and running. We're hoping to have a meeting this month to figure out a direction for sustainability on campus, how to unify student organizations together. Another focus is ensuring the next president is paying attention to environmental and sustainability concerns on campus. And I think it's important that questions kind of pertinent to sustainable practices on campus are asked. I believe it's next Tuesday at the collaborative conversation with the Board of Trustees and the Presidential Search Committee here at Walter Hall. And then finally, I'm still in the process for finding a date for the Office of Sustainability to come and speak here at the general body.
Thank you. And
Okay, don't have a ton on the agenda. I've been in several interviews for potential new members. That's been really fun. I'm also setting up a meeting with Dr. Chris Fowler, who's a new leader of the Women's Center, and Ann Brandon to talk about if the Women's Center has been doing anything for Red Zone, and to talk to Ann Brandon about Green Dot training, which is something they introduced to DLA but hasn't been done around campus the whole time. And I'm also going to set up a meeting with the people who run the learning communities to see what all's covered in the choices syllabus in regards to Red Zone, and like sexual health training and what resources are available on campus. That's all for me.
thank you.
I'm focusing on reaching out to different directors in housing, so on Friday, I'm director of residence site to discuss getting in touch with RAs of different LLCs in the residence halls. I want to kind of get their opinions on how their residents have enjoyed their experiences and how like the RAs experiences are going as well, especially like in these specific communities. And then after getting in touch with those specific people, I'm going to take the information to Janine Acker, the executive director, and I'm hopefully going to discuss that as well as the housing master plan.
Thank you. I think that's all. All right. Are there any Senate committee reports? Yes, there is. I have one. Yeah. All right, so,
The university
oh,
committee.
no, Senate committee reports, not yet. Okay, no, I don't have that. I have this. Yes. Do you? Yes.
Yes, I will be, we have to send out the form to everybody else, so those committee decisions will be made. That form's gonna be sent out to everybody tomorrow. I think that's coming in later on in the reports. But then after we match folks and we figure out where everyone's going to be, tentatively Monday, no later than Wednesday next week.
Great. All right, now is my turn. All right, so on Thursday, September 1st, I attended the University Budget Council meeting. To remind everyone in the room, according to the university website, the Budget Planning Council is charged with serving an advisory role to the president regarding current and multi-year budget issues and long-term financial policies. The co-chairs communicate with the Budget Planning Council's advisory recommendations to the president. So right now I serve as our Senate's representative, and a summary of the main responsibility of this council include serving as active representatives to our constituent groups, providing input to the president about general assumptions of the university budget, and providing input on long-term institutional budget policy and financial planning issues. This past meeting was an introduction to the council and an overview of the budget book. All materials covered in the meetings were included online and available to the public. Go to the university's website and search Budget Planning Council and then scroll down to past meetings, and you can click on September 1st, 2022, and it'll have all of the notes that were shared with me. The direct link will also be included in my report, but I recommend all students to read or at least skim this 21-page report. This material is very helpful to understanding our school's budget, and you'll find a lot of interesting facts, and most of the school's revenue does come from students. So it's really important for us to think about where our money's going. But yeah, I reserve the balance of my time. Okay, move on. Okay, executive officer report. So my report, a little shorter, but this is another reminder to attend the Presidential Search Committee event. This is next Tuesday, September 13th at 5:30 p.m. in this room. We'll also be sharing this session with Graduate Student Senate. So there will be pizza provided. And this meeting will be led by the President's Search Engagement Team. So if you want to learn more about the President's Search in general in preparation for this meeting, there is information located on the university website. You can look up Presidential Search and it should be the first link. The direct link will also be included in my report as well.
Are there going to be gluten-free, vegan food options available for other students coming in as well?
Yeah, so this is a meeting that's open to the Senate and to the Senate. And we, in conjunction with the president of Graduate Student Senate, we all said yes to all the options for pizza. So there should be gluten-free and veggie pizza for students.
Generalize.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Any other questions? Awesome.
All right. Welcome to week 3, everyone. It's so good to see everyone in person this week. Thank you all for the well wishes and the patience with the last week. I am doing much better. Lingering cough and stairs really suck. So it is getting better though. So I've been working diligently on a comprehensive outreach list, which will be shared with all of the commissioners, senators, and vice commissioners next week. Commissioners, you'll be receiving those by your one-on-ones, and you are able to then share it out with your senators and vice commissioners where applicable. So when you see it, please let me know if there's anything you know that is missing from it. I have done my best to pull it from the information that I have available to me, but I'm sure some of it is probably not quite as up to date as I would hope it to be. So please let me know if you need something altered or fixed. I also have my first cabinet meeting this Friday, so I'm looking forward to the future collaborations that will result from it. And I think that's gonna be a great time to get to know one another as better as commissioners. Interviews are going great. Congrats to our new members, and we have even more folks to vote in next week. Applications are still open though. We do have capacity for almost 90 people in Senate. We have all of these open seats around us. I would like them filled. So if you know anybody, please encourage them to apply. You all should have received today, our intern application opened up and a link to that was sent out to all undergraduate students here. So encourage folks to apply through that if they're kind of on the fence and they're not really sure what Senate's about. That's a great way to help get them involved. So secondly, I want to kind of make clear what various members of Senate do. So all members of a commission engage in both policy work and programming. The distinctions are mostly in relation to the amount of work that they are responsible for. Commissioners and senators both have a vote, which means they're both required to come to general body meetings or have a proxy in their absence. Commissioners serve 5 office hours a week and lead the commission meetings and are responsible for a report during GBM. Senators, however, only serve 4 office hours, but again, they must also come to general body meetings. Vice commissioners have a lower time commitment. They only serve 2 office hours and they don't need to attend general body meetings. But as I mentioned before, everybody in the commission has the ability to serve in both policy and programming avenues. So when you're doing that, like outreach for recruitment and things of that nature, make sure that folks are realizing that really the main difference comes down to either having a vote or time commitment. And that's essentially the 2 big differences. And then the other thing I'm going to do at the end of my report is include resources for students because I want to make sure students are feeling supported in every way that they possibly can. So be on the lookout for that. This week, it is week 3, so classes are starting to ramp up, and I want to make sure that you all are putting your studies first. We are the Student Senate after all. So if you need extra help, the Academic Achievement Center offers free academic assistance. The link to that is included in my minutes. Additionally, Health Health Promotions is another resource. It focuses on creating an educated and healthy campus. So they offer peer education around sexual health, bystander intervention, alcohol and drug consumption, and they also offer support with mental health awareness. You may have seen green bandanas around campus. Today, they were actually handing them out at the top of Baker. Those are passed out by Health Promotions to engage students in conversations around mental health awareness and suicide prevention. And it's a large national campaign, so things are very easily recognizable. And a link to Health Promotions website will also be included in my minutes. And that is the end of my report.
Awesome. So I want to start by saying, once we receive a budget committee, of course, budget requests will start to come in, and I want to let anybody know who is thinking of maybe doing an event, just because I heard some amazing ideas tonight. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me for help on that before you submit it. And not even just me, once we establish a budget committee, that will be budget committee's job to assist anybody on filling out a request. Feel free to touch base with me during my office hours, or even if those don't work for you, I'm willing to schedule anything outside of that. But don't feel like you have to fill that out on your own and kind of just submit it and hope for the best. I'm a resource. The budget committee will be a resource. So I just want to make that preface before we even have one. But yes, SAC advising workshops are, well, there's one this upcoming Wednesday, September 14th from 12 to 1. Location, I apologize, but I will have that at the end of the meeting because I don't remember, I didn't write it down. So I will have that at the end of the meeting. So please touch base with me if you're interested about that. I also believe that they're going to have an online option. This type of training is for the funding applications to kind of go over some of those, how to access them, what to do, proper price documentation. But also if you miss the training, or if any student organization treasurer or president missed the training, this would be their opportunity to make that up. So September 14th, 12 to 1. Next biweekly funding deadline is this Friday. It's our first one of the year. It's this Friday, September 9th at 5 p.m. I'm holding advising appointments during my office hours, but please reach out to me if you all have any questions, or if you know anybody that has a question, please forward them to me. I've been getting a lot of good ones throughout the week, which excites me because people are applying, but getting them on Wednesdays doesn't, because it's due on Friday. So any of those questions early would be amazing. We're getting interest within SAC and Senate as well, and it's increasing, and word of mouth is almost everything. Just speaking to people about Senate, I'm explaining to them the difference. A lot of people don't know the difference, just how Lavina spoke about the difference in senators and commissioners. Not everybody knows that information, but also doesn't know what Senate does and how we are supposed to be here for students. So please do your due diligence as a member of Senate to spread that information, but also point them in the right direction if you yourself are not 100% on everything that encompasses in Student Senate. But the application is open, until it's not. So definitely pay attention to when it closes and tell people. But with that, we can head on to the numbers. For the Senate total, it is $25,520.25. Allocated not spent is $6,932.43. Not allocated nor spent, $18,587.82. SAC total, $313,313.76. Spot fund is $299,748.04. And U fund is $13,565.72. I also have a report from my discretionary fund for the pizza and also the vegetables and fruit from our retreat on Saturday. Avalanche Pizza, I spent $115.79. And at Walmart, $38.29. And that was all for the Senate retreat on 9/1. And I kind of want to go in deeper to some of our allocations, just because I know you all see the allocated but not spent number, but may not know exactly what that means. In Senate, we allocate money to Take Back the Night, Pride Week, Take a Tampon, Leave a Tampon, and newly Students Defending Students, and additionally layer down line programming for Student Senate as well. So for Take Back the Night, that is 6% of our overall budget, and that is $1,531.22. That is the same number for Pride Week, so $1,531.22. Take a Tampon, Leave a Tampon was cheaper last year, but we all know things are getting more expensive. So currently that is sitting at $1,870, no change. And then for students defending students, this year we're gonna allocate $2,000 to students defending students to help with their programming, different materials that they'll need for their office, things that are gonna help them operate. Students defending students is a branch of Student Senate, so it is our duty to aid them, and we will be doing that this year. But with that, these numbers are true and accurate to the best of my knowledge, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. So just a couple of housekeeping things real quick. Please remember to clock your office hours. If you haven't clocked them for last week, just get them in as soon as possible. I'm gonna give you a little bit of leeway this first week, but I'm gonna start assigning points and I really don't want to do that. So make sure that you're clocking them by Monday at 5 p.m. If you gave a report of any kind tonight, send it to me before midnight. I do not want to have to hunt you down. You can literally type it in an email right now and send it to me. I don't care. I'm not going to be offended. Just send it straight to me just before midnight. You can email it to me, email it to the Senate email, group me message. I don't care, however you get it to me. Be sure we're keeping the office clean, so throwing away trash. If you have crumbs, wiping them up. We do have some cleaning supplies in the office, so if you need to wipe something down, we've got supplies like that in the office that you can use, so be sure we're keeping that space clean. Your name tags for GBM are going to start being on this front table up here. So you can just grab them when you come in, and then I ask that you just leave them there, drop them off as you go out the door at the end of the night, and I'll just grab them from there. So you don't have to come and hand them to me, you can just lay them up on the table. Everyone should have gotten an invitation to our workspace on Slack. So go ahead and accept that invitation so that you can be in that space. We're going to be transitioning away from GroupMe and starting to use Slack. So if you didn't get that email, come and see me after GBM and I'll take your name and I'll make sure that you get that email to get into the Slack. As Vice President Cooley kind of alluded to, I'm sending out retreat slides and information tomorrow. We just wanted to put a little bit more information on there that maybe we talked about, but if you weren't at the retreat that you wouldn't have gotten. So we're gonna send out those detailed slides tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. And then just my apologies for the resolution not being on the slides. I'm gonna fix that before I send it out to y'all. And with that, that is the end of my report.
Hi, everyone. So the first email was sent out today, super exciting. 22% of people opened it. Checked it before I said that. So make sure that you tell your friends to check their emails as well as repost the Instagram post that I just posted like 30 minutes ago. Make sure to repost that. There's also more to come with emails. Send me any and all photos you have revolving around Student Senate, student organizations, honestly, anything that has to do with Ohio University itself. Would love to post it. If you are new to Student Senate, please send me your position, name, major, Instagram handle if you feel comfortable, as well as pronouns. If you are already in Student Senate, make sure to double check the Senate website. Make sure that everything is how it is. It's good how it looks. I got all the information from you guys last year, but if something changed or if you want to change your headshot, please send that to me. PR for President Sherman coming in on September 14th is going to be a lot. So please repost, tell all of your friends to come. I feel like it's going to be a really big meeting and I'd love all of you guys to repost it. Two more things. One, I'm going to finalize the LinkedIn campaign. If you do not have a LinkedIn account, I'd be more than happy to help. I view it as like a second form of Instagram. I love going on it. And then lastly, more things are in the works. So yeah, that's the end of my report.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have any information on what President Sherman is to speak about?
No.
Point of order. Make sure you guys are talking to your constituents. It is very important that you are doing outreach to talk to the people that your commission directly affects. It is very important, just because your opinion is not who you're supporting, that's not just your opinion. It is the student's opinion. So figure out different concerns, different things like that. Make sure you're spending this next week actually talking to people. That is all.
Yes.
I made a grievance form type like suggestions thing for the Russ College. I'm putting up posters around with like a QR code so people can fill it out. Do I need to get the students that it's sealed thing put on it, or should I'm just doing it myself? So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Always.
Do we have any idea when we're gonna get schedules for tabling outside of Baker, when those will be sent out so we can get our time slots put in?
Yes, I apologize for that. Today got away from me and I did not quite finish it within my office hours. However, I will be working on that either tomorrow or probably Friday, but I will try to get it to you as soon as possible so we have time on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And with that, I don't remember if I sent this to everybody or just commissioners. However, the expectation next week is we're going to be doing a lot of tabling for in anticipation of President Sherman being here. We will have a Google document, or not necessarily a Google document, maybe a Qualtrics, some type of form that students will be able to scan a QR code and put in, submit any questions that they might have for President Sherman, because that will also help guide what President Sherman ultimately ends up talking about. And we'll also be sending out some more specific information about what President Sherman does and his role and his duties. That way we can, again, target those questions as well. I hope that answered.
Thank you all for your questions. Is there any? No? Okay, awesome.
So I got another short report tonight. The judicial panel is still obviously accepting applications for associate justice and an assistant clerk of court. The link is up on our Bobcat Connect page for the application, and if you know anyone interested and they have any questions, I will make myself available to answer them. In addition, we have been working on getting the constitution changes that we discussed last year updated. So, it's finally finished. And then lastly, election RMP changes are on our agenda and we are working quickly to get those done as soon as possible. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you.
My report is brief tonight too. Thanks for all of you who came out on Saturday to the retreat, and thanks for all of you who presented during the retreat. I think there were some good questions and some important questions answered about our processes and procedures as well. As a reminder to everybody, reservations for event services for spring open next Wednesday, September 14th. So if you're involved in whatever it may be, you can make those reservations beginning next Wednesday morning. And there's more information on the event services website. Molly, I sent you the interim campus freedom of expression link and policy, so people can review that. That concludes.
So I have Nate's report because they are at home with COVID. So they said, hey, everyone, not that I have to apologize, but sorry for being out this week. COVID decided to latch onto me. Applications for our internship program is open. If you have friends who are interested in joining Senate but are afraid of the big time commitment, they can apply to be an intern. Right now, I'm only accepting 2 to 5 people, but if we get more applications, I may raise the number. If they have any questions, they can email Nate at their email. If you don't have access to the door or your respective commission email, please let Nate know. They said that's pretty much it. Oh, they've sent me something else. We will be doing a performance evaluation of the leadership team, which includes President Shoulders, Vice President Cooley, Treasurer Robinson, Chief of Staff Pennington, PR Director Sarver, and Graduate Assistant Padilla next meeting. In that meeting, we're going into executive session and we're going to detail that next meeting as well. So now that's pretty much it. If you need assistance with anything, do not be afraid to contact them. Remember, you have until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and they should be back in the office starting next Monday. I might be able to answer it.
I figured you might be able to. Do we figure out the issue of having the commissioner's emails on our phone, or do we still only have access on laptops because of like the duo thing?
I believe I've been able to open a separate mailbox on my phone, but I'm honestly, Trinity, do you have anything like that?
Yes, I have been able to, and if you need help, we can do that one-on-one, just because I know it was a little tricky getting to it, but we can
Okay.
talk about that. I can.
Perfect.
Oh, well, do you? Yeah.
No report.
All right. Is there a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Are there any objections to adjournment? All right, any, nope, the meeting is adjourned. Hi, how are you?
I'm gonna send you an email. About.
Hey, thank you.
One or two.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Why you don't always do this?
Olivia,
Yeah,
and I.
yeah.
No, when you